Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And this is the Carbonation Conversation. Reviewing Netflix and Ryan Reynolds' The Adam Project. But before we do that, as always, shout out to Mo Beats 89. And if you're liking the audio editing, the music productions, the multiple array of beats that he has in each of our podcasts, as well as the continuous beats that he has during our seasons, don't hesitate to get into contact with Mo on every platform and directly at Mo Beats 89 in the description below.
He is also an artist.
Exactly, man. I mean, the man can do everything. He can do logos. I've seen him do Twitch entrances. It's just amazing that the things he can do. And later, I'm actually going to bring up, if Ito will remind me, something that Mo is collaborating with a friend that he wanted me to announce. So I'll be announcing that a little later. Yeah, it's a pretty cool project to me, at least. Anyways, today we got some Moosehead. Canadian lager. That's pretty much all I really know about this. I had asked Ito previously if he drank. I was like, hey, you drink this beer? I'm in the liquor store with a big old moose on the head, and it looks pretty good. So let me check it out.
They say this is Canada's fourth largest brewery.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean really much because it's only accounted for like 2 to 3% of the beer distribution.
Holy
they say the two
shit.
big ones are basically like 75% of everything.
Oh wow! So, okay.
Even though this is the fourth biggest brewery, it's not that big.
Okay, wow. And it's all the way came to us from Chicago. Okay. All right. Happy New Beer.
Happy New Beer.
That is a different taste. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually a little bit lighter than I thought. Let me taste that again.
Maybe that's why. It's too light for them.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of like a High Life.
Yeah, I guess
maybe, like a little bit. I mean, again, no beer connoisseur over here. But, and...
Maybe we'll start talking Canadian, eh?
Yeah, that just reminds me of that 70s show where they went to go to Canada to go get beer. That was one of my favorite episodes. Oh, Canada.
Yeah, I think Canada, I think South Park instantly. It's fucked up. Right? Hey, buddy.
I know, right? But yeah, and we also, as always, guess what, Ito? I think I'm going to do this like every time. Maybe not because we're reviewing a couple of things today, but I'll do it though this way. Guess what?
What?
We have passed 440 downloads.
Nice.
Thank you guys, especially those in Texas, Massachusetts, obviously our home state, Chicago, and Illinois, as well as all around the world. We definitely appreciate you, and we are about to take a shot out for you. Thank you.
Shout out. Thank you.
All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. This is, I think, Ryan Reynolds' third Netflix film. I know he signed like a multi-film deal. I don't remember the number. I think it's like 7, 8. There was
pulled an Adam Sandler.
Exactly, basically. And so I always butcher the first movie too because you always correct me. Is it 6 Underground?
Yeah, 6 Underground. Okay,
so it's the first movie we reviewed, 6 Underground, and then we reviewed Red Notice, and now we have Adam Project.
Okay.
I will say this going into this movie, which I only read the synopsis. You recommend. You was like, hey, you want to do this or Free Guy? I'm pretty sure we'll eventually do Free Guy as well.
I thought this was it just came out, so
yeah. So we wanted to talk about it. This is by Sean, at least directed by Sean Levy. Yeah. I'm looking at his bio. He was a producer in the internship, not the intern. With I think that was with like Vince Vaughn. I think the intern was. He did a little bit of Stranger Things and Arrival. The Spectacular Now. I've never heard of that movie. But yeah, those are just a few things that he's done. And yeah, we have Ryan Reynolds. Basically the synopsis of the story is he is going back in time. I don't even want to say he's a time traveler, but I guess in this case he kind of is a time traveler.
He is a time traveler pilot.
Yes,
that is what he is.
Yes, and he's going back in time to to try to stop the existence of time traveling. Or is that the second goal? Because isn't the first one going back for the girl?
Yeah, he's mainly trying to find.
And then they lead to that. Exactly. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the synopsis. First, he's going to go find a girl, played by the lovely, I forget her. I'll find her name. Zoe, right?
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
We all know her from, a lot of us know her from Gamora.
Of course, the Colombiana.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Which actually, that wasn't too bad of a movie. I remember seeing that back in the day.
I was really surprised the amount of stars.
Yeah.
Mark
Ruffalo.
I was just like, what? Mark Ruffalo played his father. That's a whole nother part of the story.
Yeah, and
Jennifer Garner played his mother.
I haven't seen Jennifer Garner.
I was more surprised to see her. Like, what the hell?
Catherine Keener. I couldn't believe to see her too.
I was just like, what? I know her. I tell you something, but it was like some specific comedy that I was like, what is it? The 40-Year-Old Virgin. She is the love interest in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I know.
It's all coming back.
Damn, you think about it. Of course, the movie came out almost 15 years ago, maybe more. You know what I mean? So you look at her now and
basically
think about
started old boy's career. I mean, well, it didn't start. He's been in forever. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Became mainstream. And so I asked my wife. We just got home, and I was like, "Hey, you want to watch this movie with me? Me and Nita are going to review it." And she was like, "Okay, cool." And I will say, I think this is probably the best movie I've seen Ryan Reynolds in. I am shocked.
I'm surprised. I swear I thought you were not going to like it for some reason. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Even though there's been a movie or two done like this in the past, but it was just the kid. Basically, I think it's his first acting job because I tried to look it up. This is his first acting job, and I think he did a great job. Being like a mini Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually well done. Tad bit annoying, which was on purpose because of the line.
It's Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean? Ryan Reynolds is the same damn character in every movie, but you can't even hate him for it.
And you know what? I will say he was trying so hard not to be that same character in this movie, and I even felt his jokes were a little bit toned down. His voice was
he was a little more seeming dramatic. I guess you go away because he was trying to find his love and all that stuff. A lot of stuff going on that he's seen his mom in the past, his dad in the past.
Man, and the ending was such a tearjerker. Me and Patty I was like, oh, that was sweet. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not saying I don't love him as Deadpool and all these other movies.
There's even a video of the kid reciting his Deadpool lines word for word.
Oh, really?
The curse words and everything.
Oh, yeah, because he was so cursing in this fucking movie. Even my wife was like, ooh, really? Right? But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Family movie. You can watch,
great family movie.
And I enjoyed it. I even think, if me and you, again, just, hey, let's pop this in, all grown men, I think we'd still enjoy the movie. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about the story. The story surrounds, obviously, Adam. There are, I was about to say there are 3 versions of Adam. There are not. There are just 2.
No, there is. Because they go back to the second time with the dad.
Yeah,
the younger one.
Yes, the younger
video
one.
game.
Yep, yeah, I remember. So we get introduced to 2022 Adam. No, it's 2050 Adam at first because he's flying a plane.
Did it show him first? Okay. I thought it showed the young one get beat up first.
I just saw it today. I think it was him on the plane first, and then him going through the portal. Right. Yeah, he was escaping, and it was like cool. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it just shows him shot. Yeah. He's shot, escaping. And they're trying to tell him to stop. Don't do it. You know what I mean? So, he's basically that's his ship because. Apparently, only they could them with that DNA could drive.
Which I thought was really cool. I don't know why we don't have that now.
You know what I mean? Well, that's the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are some things now like fingerprints on your phone.
Yeah,
and all
that is
stuff.
true. Yeah, and I do see some people that actually have the fingerprint on their car. But yeah, you're right. He gets shot and he's trying to time the space jump. Yeah. It looks like I forget the term for most space movies where you do this. You know what I'm saying? I forget the name of it. It's kind of like when they make the mini black hole to go somewhere else faster. I forgot what is it? Time jump.
Warp speed.
Yeah, that's where it is. It's warp speed. It's like, anyways, he does that. He gets away with it, and then we're introduced, or at least we think we're introduced to. It's 2022, and we have young Adam. He's 12 years old, and he is, of course, running away from bullies, like kids that are, skinny, scrawny, a little talk shit a little bit.
Pretty small for his age.
Yeah, very small for his age. But I do like his cleverness. I do, I don't know if a kid would actually say this, faced with 2 or 3 bullies. But when he's like, Chuck, come on, man, we talked about this, man. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
That was like the whole thing with the whole Chuck thing. Like, what'd I do?
Exactly.
It was like throughout the whole movie.
And he's getting, obviously, Adam, 12-year-old boy, gets his ass whipped.
Exactly.
He's having bully problems.
He's getting bullied, but instead of crying and screaming, he's just being a smart ass. And just taking what he gets, truthfully. And
we're introduced to Jennifer Garner, his mom. Still so hot, by the way. Where me and my wife are watching this, she was like, I still can't believe Ben Affleck left her for J-Lo. I was like, come on. Really? I didn't even realize that. I mean, I knew he was with J-Lo and they got married, but I didn't realize he left that.
Who got the bigger booty?
Daredevil. I was like, Daredevil makes so much sense now. Electra, damn you, in that playground scene. But anyways, I will say, the only thing I want to say about the whole school thing, I hate when kids get their ass whooped and they somehow get suspended.
Yeah.
That is so weird to me.
Yeah, because apparently he did something to kind of like egg him on. You know what I mean? So they're saying that he kind of started it or whatever. But they all got suspended. Yeah. Of course.
And, what we find out is, I believe it's a year and a half or at the most 2 years since Adam's father has died. So he had to die when he was about 9. Am I doing right? 10. No, 12. 10. Sorry. Wow. Already that liquor's already kicking in. 10. And, he's not rebelling, but he's being an asshole to his mom.
Not basically, like, he's not expressing his feelings.
Yes,
instead he's just acting out.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, you could tell it's bothering the mom, hurting the mom a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, she feels like she can't even express herself, but she's more worried about him.
Exactly. And then, does she go on the date first, or is that before the date when he actually meets Big Ryan? I know she's working, or she's out of the house basically.
I think the date is first because they come back with the date. She comes back with the date.
Oh yeah, because he does. Okay, so he meets Big Ryan first. He's out in the woods, kicking, chilling, and he sees something. They're like, they're like ambers that were coming down in the woods, and that leads him to go into what I can only assume was his dad's shed.
He was chasing the dog.
Yeah.
He was chasing the dogs. The dog heard noise and stuff, and so like you said, it ended up where the dad's
it's like shed. Exactly. And then that's when he is introduced to himself, which at this moment he doesn't know who this person is. He's obviously freaking out. Got a bat. Ryan Reynolds is bleeding and joking at the same time.
Put the bat down.
Exactly. And I am a bit. I keep forgetting Netflix because Netflix will trick you into thinking that this is like a family-ish movie, and then they'll show you something like a blood wound. I was whoa, I wasn't expecting that. So clear.
I mean, it's like, it's not a rated G movie. It's PG-13, so they're going to show little stuff like that.
I was pretty shocked at that. And, he's bleeding all over the place. Basically, he is, familiar with the area. He's kind of freaking the kid out a little bit. The dog is even going to him.
He's realizing the dog's like right next to him. He's petting the dog.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, he's just like, hey, stay in here. I'm going to go to the house. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to, try not to die, basically. And as he's in the house, little Adam, I guess that's what we're going to call him, is basically confronting him on everything. And long story short, still got the bat in hand.
He just grabs it. Just throw the damn bat down.
Exactly.
He just throws it away.
And lo and behold, he finds out.
He realizes.
Yes, he realizes.
He's like, you're me.
Yeah. And he kind of did a mini feint at first, and he had to, hey, don't, come back.
He caught him, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Step out of it.
Yeah, and basically he tells him, well, he doesn't really tell him first why he's back. You know, he just really wants to get cleaned up, but obviously he's telling him, you know, after they've, you know, kind of had a rapport, you know, a little bit of a connection. Don't tell your mom.
Right.
I'm gonna be out. You know, I'm gonna get some
he
sleep.
realized that he did travel to the wrong time. Mm-hmm. It was not. He wants to, you know, he needs to go see his. Well, he wants to go to the year 2018. Yep. That's where he's looking for his girl.
Mm-hmm, because he doesn't know what happened to her. Apparently, she was doing a mission, and basically, she kind of lost signal or something along those lines. And basically, he wanted to backtrack and see what happened.
Yeah, because apparently they're saying what happened to him is unbelievable because she was the best driver or best something. Like she wouldn't mess up like that. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just not her. Yeah. So
and he's even telling young Adam that, hey, even the Maya, your dad's long-term friend, right now is basically the person that's responsible for this. You know, all this dialogue doesn't happen at once, but he's basically kind of explaining the entire situation to young Adam. And at first, he doesn't really want anything to do with him. You know, he's just like, I made a mistake. We really shouldn't even be connected.
If anything, he only needed him to start the ship up because his injury wouldn't allow him to start the ship.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. He didn't have enough blood in his body to be recognized.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
The part was to, do I have sex?
Yeah, he's like, man, we have a whole, you know, we're doing space and time and all this, and you're worried about whether or not you're gonna get laid. He's like, yeah. He even says, he's like, you're so buff. Like, he's like, don't touch me, don't do that. I did think that was hilarious. He's just like, how did we get like that? Like, he's just looking at himself and shit. It's just like, how did that happen?
Yeah, he's kind of, you know, the older ones insinuating it was just like, nothing easy came to him. You know what I mean? Type of thing that he's been through some shit.
Yeah,
kind of insinuating that over and over again in his own way. You know?
And we find out that in 2050, Adam's dad's I would say partner maybe or investor. Yes, it was an investor. Her name was Maya, played by Catherine Keener. And basically what we find out in 2050 is like she basically like controls the time travel machine, I guess you could say, or the mechanism to go back in time. Like the government wants it.
She basically runs it. Basically
like, I'm not giving this up. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, she has her. You remember that Call of Duty when they had similar enemies like that, where they were looking like the enemies in here? That future one, those what the enemies look like. And it was, I was like, huh. And then when you hit them, they disappear. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool kind of thing.
Say when you die out of your time.
Yeah, I was like, huh. Like for a second there, I was like, are they like real people or are they like robots? But I was a little bit confused with that. But yeah,
they were real people. They just apparently die at your time. The splatter is a complete mess or something. Yeah, like that. He said something.
Yeah, and so Maya ends up tracking them. They end up basically attacking Adam's whole house, and I don't want to say they destroy the house, but the house is pretty much fucked up. I did like the gadgets and the weapons in this future. Yeah. That was really cool. I liked it looked like a pulse grenade. Something like what he threw. He's like, get ready to run, and he threw it at the door. It was like a pulse and wave. Boom. That was really cool. I love the stick.
He kept seeing the stick. Is that a lightsaber?
Yeah.
He opens it up. That's a lightsaber.
Yeah, I like it. It would remind me of Halo with the hammer, but once you just need the big part, you just the huge wave.
That weapon was badass.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And you get to see Ryan Reynolds in a fight scene, and I will say,
it was a great fight.
It was a great fight scene. You know, it wasn't super great, but it was good. I was, and he was doing it while shot, so that was really impressive. And you could tell he was getting his ass whooped throughout this whole movie, which I always liked.
They had the main villain, which was Christos. Yeah. That guy. So basically, they looked like they were getting the upper hand on him. Mm-hmm. And then a shot comes, boom, out of nowhere.
And it is Gamora. She comes out of nowhere. No, it's Laura.
And her name is Laura.
It's Laura, and she totally shocks everybody. I'm pretty shocked. I'm like, okay.
When I saw the gun, I'm like, oh, she's here. I know it was her. I knew it was
like, what the fuck is going on? How is she even here? But what she explains is, after whooping ass,
they both whoop ass. They keep looking at each other like, oh my god, ass whooping. You know, like,
I love you. And then little Adam was just like, what is going on? But this is so cool. Right. Like, she basically explains that yes, Maya did try to kill her, and basically she got stuck in the 2018. year 2018.
So she's been there waiting. She's like, I knew you would come for me. And I just been waiting for it, basically.
Which is actually pretty sweet. And I would say this is probably the most emotion next to Deadpool I've ever seen Ryan Reynolds in a love scene.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this guy. Like, I've never seen this shit before. I've never seen this shit. And obviously the kid got to leave the cabin because they want to get it on. Mm-hmm. Happy New Beer, even though you just drunk one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't really get to see a lot of Zoe in this movie, which was a little shocking to me because Maya does end up tracking them. And basically...
Yeah, they escape. They escape to where she's been staying.
Yeah,
and they still end up finding her, but she convinces him to travel back to see the dad and just stop the existence of time travel itself.
Yeah, he was just like, hell no.
Like, no, then we would never meet. We would meet without this flight class and and. Told a story. They even told a story how they met and all that stuff. Yes. It's pretty cool. But so they convinced she was like, if we're destined to be together, we'll be together.
Yes. And I could, if I really wanted to, I probably could strip this movie down and be like, man, this time shit didn't make sense. It probably isn't accurate. But in the moment when me and my wife was watching this movie, this was like, I was so proud of Ryan Reynolds.
And I swear that's what I thought when
I was watching, like,
thinking of you,
gonna take this shit up.
Take it out of proportion. Yeah.
I was like, but again, like, since I've rarely seen this side of Ryan Reynolds, I'm just like, man, I'm digging it. Yeah. Like, I want more of this.
He didn't want to leave her, you know what I mean? But she couldn't even travel with him, because of the ships.
And basically, what happens is she ends up, basically being bait. She ends up holding off, but she did fuck up old boy, though. What's his name? I forget his name. But she, what's it?
Christos.
Yeah, Christos. And he ends up, his car ends up flipping. Yep. She's getting them with the fucking assault rifles, but then Maya comes behind with her ship, and we're all led to believe that she's dead. She's basically died.
They can't show it, but you know what I mean, because of the rating.
Yeah,
but she died.
And not like 6 Underground. And they go back in time, and now we're introduced to Mark Ruffalo's character, and he is playing the dad,
Lewis.
And I will say, he was talking in his lecture. Ryan Reynolds' character interrupts. Obviously class is dismissed. He takes one look at Ryan Reynolds, takes one look at the kid, and he's just like, Adam,
right? The kid wasn't even in there yet. It was just Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
looking at him, and you could see it.
And I was just like, I guess it's a father thing. I guess. I mean, that was the only. Me and my wife were kind of like, how did he know? My wife even mentioned that. Like, that's weird. How did he know? But again, we're going through.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah,
parent consents, that type of thing.
And he is pissed. He don't even want to see him because of the fact.
Throughout the movie, Ryan Reynolds been saying how he feels his father wasn't there for him.
Yes.
Constantly saying that, and then he dies. Mm-hmm. So you feel like that's why he carries this tortured soul around.
And it's true, and it's funny because we're getting older to a certain degree, and we don't remember a lot of shit from,
of course,
5 to 12.
And then even traumatic issues cause you to change your memories.
Exactly.
Mind is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my sister was like, I don't remember no birthday parties, and I was like, I remember your birthday parties. What do you me. You know what I mean? Like shit, but she honestly doesn't.
No,
I know. It's just crazy. But yeah, like you were saying, he is just like, I love to see you. It's awesome. I'm seeing you, but we
should not be doing this. Right?
This shit up. Y'all don't tell me nothing. And you know, obviously we're having a back and forth. Big Adam does hit the dad with some good shit. He does be like, you know, I'm cool now, but you need to make sure he's good now.
Exactly.
Which really does affect him. He does, you know, go home
at first. At first, it's like the dad doesn't want to listen, and they're going back and forth, and fucking Big Adam punches him in the face and shit.
Yeah,
and I was like, Dad.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because even in that scene where they were all together, when Lil Adam is just kind of hugging him, he's like, I gotta go. You know, don't tell me anything. I shouldn't even be here. It was good to see you. We'll see each other later. And it's just like, oh, fuck.
Right. And even the dad, he goes like, Dad, I gotta tell you something. No, don't tell me.
I'm sorry, this would have to be some Back to Future type shit. You're gonna have to sneak a note. You're gonna have to read that note, Dad. There is no way in hell.
Did somebody call him Marty McFly?
Man, there is no way in fucking hell I'm letting my dad. It's a car crash? It would be different. Cancer, you know, that type of shit's unpreventable. Yeah. But we're talking about a car crash. You know, if I was ever 5 years ahead of time, I'm sending you messages and signs, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. We'll mess up this whole time frame.
You can't do that. See?
We'll mess up this whole. Let them kill somebody we don't know.
if I warn you about dying, that could fuck up Logan's future.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You know, that Young Butterfly Effect, which was a great Ashton, probably one of the only great Ashton Kutcher movies. But anyways,
what about Dude with a Car? No.
Oh my God.
I thought it was funny.
Oh my God.
It's a horrible movie,
I remember that
funny.
was a sellout at the box office, and with everybody at the end, everybody was just like, really? Fucking really? Kids, if you've never seen that, check out Dude, Where's My Car?
Not kids.
But yeah, what I will say is Maya, she herself even comes back and she talks to her younger self, which really isn't
apparently
this season.
Apparently that's what she had did already. She had went back and told her younger self what was going to happen, gave her help.
Stock options, all that came in account. Bro, we doing this right
rule
way.
You're not supposed to fucking do.
Bro.
So she did that. So when she came back again, when young and older Adam went, she was like, what are you doing here? You said I'll never see you again. You know what I mean? Well, she's like, something came up type of shit, you know, and they planned for the Adams.
Yeah, and so Big Adam, basically plots this scheme. He's like, well, shit, I don't really have a solid plan. The only thing I can think of is I'm going to blow the shit up. That's basically it. Like, you know, and that doesn't sound like a bad plan when you don't have, you know, when you can't finesse.
Yeah. But since she knows he's coming, when they get to the front, all of a sudden the putties. The putties. Yeah, they come, you know what I'm saying?
For
lack of a better term.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so cool because I love the VR thing that the Lil Ryan has. He has the little android that can basically, you know, kill people for real. And I was just like, this boy is racking up body counts. He's like, take out that car, boom, car flips over. I'm like, they're dead. Take out that car, boom. Good, young Adam, good. I'm in the background.
He hit the car, not the guy.
I was in the background. Me and my wife was like, get him, Adam, get him. and by the time, after they basically kick ass and take names, they're about to go in the building, and then the dad, Lewis, right?
Yeah, they're about to get. It look like they're about to get hit by a car.
Oh right? Yeah.
And then Lewis comes with his car and hits the other car. Right.
Bro, and I mean, so close. I don't even know how you did that for real. Like, was it a stunt double? Because that shit was so close. And he even tells, he's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he starts hitting the cars. I was like, whoa, this is my wife's car. And I was like, are you serious? You just crashed the damn thing.
Exactly. And basically, he's like, you wouldn't know how to shut this thing down or destroy it without me.
Right.
And basically they go on a mission, all three of them. Well, actually Lil Ryan is left outside to be captured by Maya. At this point my wife was like, oh my god, she sits up and she's really bad. I'm like, what happened? You got to go to the washroom? She's like, no, they got little Ryan. I was like, oh my God, little Adam. I said little Ryan.
Little Ryan, right?
I was like, little Adam. I was like, he gonna be okay. And the scene inside the area, beautiful. The 4K, the machines going. You see them take the cord, because basically they got to take it's like a memory card that he has this mathematical equation on to start the time machine process in the future, basically.
That she steals.
Yeah, basically. And he's just like, either when I take this shit out, either it's gonna take out, it's gonna continue to do the cycle, or it's not, it's gonna be stuck, or it's gonna have a meltdown and kill everybody within 100-mile radius. So I was like, damn.
Right. So the dad get ready to pull it out. Okay, ready? Okay. He just pulls it. I just get it done. He just pulls it out. And Ryan rolls.
and then obviously the fight scene does ensue. Maya's people get there with old Maya and new Maya. And then they have a standoff. Now, me and my wife sitting on the couch where old Maya, or future Maya, has the assault rifle, and she's giving this whole speech, and she's basically saying, like, this is what we need to do to pursue, to basically pursue our goal. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? She had already previously talked to, and she was like, you don't got no family. You just got the company. Right. The company is your family, and I've done what's necessary.
At this time, is the magnetic field going, right?
By the way, that same magnetic field from fucking 6 Underground, I was like, didn't they use that kind of same power on the boat? But yeah, and this huge magnetic field is going down, and I honestly thought me and my wife was like, the old Maya is gonna step in front of the bullet, because
the younger one. Right. I said the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, watch her, like, see, she's fucking up, and she's gonna sacrifice herself and kill her future self. I thought the same thing. Like, everybody forgot about the magnetic field by that time.
But the dad, he's like, yeah, you made no business, but I know science.
Pays off being a nerd.
I know. I was like, that was pretty cool. I didn't even really think about that. Now, I've never seen that done just before in general. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she dies, the whole thing comes down. I did think that was hilarious, because as soon as she died, the whole place comes down. They gotta run out. They do the dramatic jump, and then boom, they're like home. Or no, they're going down. They're coming out the elevator to the building, like, woo.
Exactly.
Woo.
And just made it.
Yeah, and basically the end is probably to me, probably one of the best scenes of the damn film, man. And that's what got me, because I'm just like...
Because it turned out they basically... that they figured out that the dad was always there for young Ryan, playing baseball with him, and older Ryan just didn't realize that. Like, he put out his mind because he didn't want to deal with the fact that his dad died.
Yes.
So he made it anger instead of sad. He was angry instead of sad. Basically.
And it took his younger self to tell him, because I'm assuming the 12-year-old.
Right. He's like, we played baseball. We played catch when he got home and all that. And he's like, no, we didn't. He's like, yes.
And it's crazy, because it definitely does remind me of my kid, especially this movie. I was just like, God damn it, man. It's just like, you do get home from work and you're tired, and you play with them for a little bit, like 5-10 minutes, but they do remember over it. You know what I'm saying? So what do? They play catch, and it's probably the most emotional fucking moment in this scene. I mean, I'm tearing up. My wife is... and that's pretty much the movie.
Yeah. Then they just show Ryan Reynolds in the future meeting Laura again.
Because now he's basically he couldn't go back.
Everything fixed itself, so he's back at his place, but he doesn't remember her or nothing like that. But like they said earlier, if we're meant to be, that spark will still be there, type of shit.
Yeah. And so, like I say, to me, I think this was probably one of the best movies Ryan Reynolds has been in besides Deadpool. Besides Deadpool, because to me he's always just a one character person, but this, I actually saw something. I was like, man, this could be the start. Like, by the time, let's say 5, 6, 7 years from now, you can be a serious actor actor, and then you can just turn on that comedy.
I feel like he's done a couple serious things, but he's just known for his comedy.
You know what? I haven't seen any of them, and all of them started out like that, like Adam Sandler and all of them, you know. But yeah, the only last thing I did want to mention is regarding Mo and his collaboration. He sent me a message and he was like, "Hey Melvin, would you tell the Carbonites?" That'd be a word. The people who listen to you that I'm doing a beat tape, and the beat tape is a mixture of video game samples. He's basically saying it's like the nostalgic theme to the arcade days fused with hip hop elements.
Okay.
The title is called Smashing Button 2 Beat Tape Heroes, and it will be releasing April 10th on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. I'm pretty sure mostly all platforms. You can definitely find this at all platforms with the Mo Beats 89. And also, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try to say it anyway, at Uran Kabashi. Uran Kabashi or Uran Kabashi. I'm just going to pass that over to Ito just to see. You see that? I think it's at Uran Kabashi for this mixtape that's going to drop. We're going to definitely be shouting this out for future reviews as well, just to keep you guys as a reminder of that. But that is pretty much it. So, out of 1 to 10, I feel so bad because I really want to give them. But you know what? I think I was about to say 6,
really?
But I don't mean 6 in a bad way. You know what I mean?
For your best friend, give it a 6.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, I'm trying to be a little bit more harsher now. But you know, I like the movie. I even say if you force me, 7. I'll give it a 7. Because I gave I fucking Uncharted like a 5. So I guess But anyway,
because you have no soul. You have no soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, as my wife is looking at me to the left, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
We are the Carbonation Conversation. And as always, we love you. I thought you were going to say it. Peace.